centers training women to be virtuous have sprung up across China in recent years, telling women that career and femininity do not mix, and forcing them to do menial work. But what are these institutes really about? When news broke that female virtues were being taught to women in a traditional cultural institute in Fushan City in northern China, the whole country was enraged. Some of the core messages delivered to women who attended the school went like this. The Fushan local government was quick to react. The institute's teachings went against social morality, said Fushan's Education Bureau in an official statement. Pressured by mounting criticism in Chinese press and social media, city authorities immediately ordered the closure of the 6-year-old institute. "17-year-old Jing, who once attended the Fushan Center, told the BBC that she was very happy to see the result. Jing said the class's curriculum ranged from reciting ancient doctrines and hands-on training for domestic chores to psychotherapy-style group sharing sessions. But they were all miraculously cured after they learned traditional virtues and became good women. Quote, "The 7-day training camp was no place for a normal person. I couldn't stand its brainwashing any longer. So on the 4th night, I climbed over the iron fence and ran away." Many educated white-collar people in big cities like Beijing and Shanghai might find the existence of such classes shocking and absurd. But in reality, these outdated values have always lingered in smaller Chinese cities, especially in rural areas. In one infamous case in 2005, a young female migrant worker jumped out of a 7th-floor window to escape prostitution in the southern city of Shenzhen. Her choice of virginity over her life was considered courageous, and her action was praised throughout the country. The possibility that feudal ideas may be making a comeback, in the name of traditional culture, is a real concern to many. It was approved by Fusion's Civil Affair Bureau as a public welfare mass organization, and was never given accreditation to run schools. It had more than 10,000 students before it shut down, according to media reports. The enterprise was funded entirely by donations from students, said the institute's headmaster Kang Jinxing in a promotional video. It also ran a side business making traditional Chinese costumes and selling them online or supplying them for cultural events. The center targeted families who had troubled teenagers and promised to change them through its version of traditional culture. It also advertised to companies and said its teachings could help a more harmonious office environment. Another similar center in Dongguan was registered as an events and performance company, yet it was recruiting students and collecting tuition fees. It was shut down by the local government in 2014 on charges of profit-making in the name of charity. Such centers are suspected of making money under the pretext of promoting traditional Chinese culture. Many have been shut down because of their questionable legal status or uncertified teaching content. But there are plenty that are still operating. Even though Fusion's main center has been shut down, its other branches are still up and running. So can such ideas really have a market in China? Most students have tended to be rural women with little education, some in unhappy marriages, where they were mistreated by their husbands. They found comfort in meeting other women with similar problems, and the lessons taught in these centers, that women were of a lower status than men, seem to have provided an explanation and solution to their problems. In one leaked video, a female student said she attended the classes because her husband hoped she could regain a woman's soft and obedient nature. By gathering regularly and sharing each other's stories, these women formed a support group. Many ended up working as volunteers for the institute and helped to teach new students. The fundamental help needs to come from policymakers, said Xieli Hua, editor of Rural Women magazine and an expert on women issues in China. Lack of education, social support and legal protection for women's rights in rural areas have provided grounds for such ideology. Quote, she pointed out that without such protection, more serious issues facing rural women, such as the sexual assault of young girls and non-entitlement to land, would not get resolved either. As for these female virtue classes, Ms. Xie said they should not be treated seriously. The tide of history can't be overturned. Chinese society has moved on towards gender equality.